Hey everybody, this is WWM. I'm here with Bricknar, and we're going to go over Disney Arena, and we're going to talk about the best character that we feel is in the game right now, and it's this gentleman right here.
All right, so this is Shan. This is Breknar, and this is Shan. You we're looking at, and I think there's probably going to be two kinds of players coming into Disney Arena right now. That's players who have played lots of these kinds of games before. You're thinking of things like Star Wars, Galaxy of Hero, Marvel. There's a number of games of this type, and if you've played these before, there's something you're going to know, and you're going to notice right away as we start to look at his abilities. And that is speed and turn meter control. That is a critical thing component in any of these games, and something that always makes characters more powerful. And Shan Yu has it across his entire kit. If you're new to these games, that may not make as much sense to you, but think of it like a board game where if you've got speed or you have turn meter control, you're actually going to get extra turns. So imagine playing something like Monopoly and you get to roll the dice twice for every turn that your opponent gets to roll the dice, right? Like, clearly that's going to give you a huge advantage. So WWM is going to go right into this and start to go through his abilities one by one. We're going to show you just why Shan Yu is so powerful.
Right. And really, it starts off with his leadership ability. There isn't many characters in this game that have good leadership abilities, and his is perfect. Just giving that, it doesn't sound like much, but that 8% speed boost to kingdom characters ends up being a huge deal. And it actually, I think this is the reason why you see so many of these characters that kind of seem mediocre into the top tier list is because of his leadership ability alone. Because if you go over to the kingdom hero, which is right here, you see some of the top characters on this list, like Aladdin and
Len and Mickey for sure
Mickey. Yes,
are up
exactly.
here
They're
in the top
considered
tier
A
series.
level, and I think that really is because of his kit.
Yeah.
Uh, and then if we go over to the rest of his ability, the most important is a passive. Every time he hits somebody, no matter what skill he uses, he has, if he critically strikes somebody, he will reduce their turn meter by 30%. Uh,
Right. So now you're talking about a character whose leader ability increases speed,
right,
and whenever he hits an opponent, he decreases their speed. So
right,
it's kind of like a double whammy in one character here.
right. Exactly. And I think we can take that and look at the rest of his ability, his Falcon ability. You know, honestly, I don't think that the offense stuff isn't as important on him. If I was to level something up, I would go for the other one that gives him an extra attack because it just gives it that more chance to reduce somebody's turn meter. But again, his Falcon ability to be able to take somebody's the chance to be able to reduce somebody's turn meter by 30%, and then you can go an extra turn, is just so crucial on him.
Yeah, so if you're new to the game, flanking, you've got a couple different AOE type abilities. Well, I guess there's probably three. There's flanking, which is going to hit an entire row, right? So if you target a row that has three characters in it, it has a chance to crit on every single one of those three characters. And then, like WWM was talking about, reduce their turn meter.
Right, exactly. And we'll go over to that. His second ability, if he is able to kill somebody, and this is one of the few times that I would actually say is basic, might be useful to use compared to this ability, because you want to you save this for the time that he can actually kill somebody because then you get an extra turn. And on his basic, if you have it leveled up, he gets a 50% chance to hit somebody else too, which just adds, in my opinion, the whole idea of this is board control and being able to reduce somebody's turn meter. So you want to hit somebody with his basic, who's going to go next, and you may not always hit uh, with that critical, but the chances that you do, it just creates that it just gives you a higher ability to get that board control that you need. And I'm gonna just play this in the background as we talk, just to highlight his abilities right here.
Yeah, going back to that 8% speed bonus that you were talking about at the beginning in his leadership skill, right? 8%, as we mentioned, it doesn't, and as a percentage, it doesn't sound like much, but really all that matters is that you go before your opponent, right? So let's imagine that you both have an Aladdin with equivalent gear, equivalent level,
Right,
all of those things.
right.
That 8% is going to mean the difference
It's
between
huge.
them going and you going. So really, it might as well be 100%, right? Because you're gonna go first every time. Yeah, so it's just a massive, massive advantage.
Right, and as you were talking, him being able to do that row Falcon every time he hit critical, he reduced 30%. And I didn't get any criticals on that, but it just shows, it gives you the ability to have board control and be able to reduce that. So I'm actually not going to use his ability here, and I'm going to use his passive or his just generic basic to try to get reduced turn meter.
Yeah, one thing if you've come from other games, you're used to pretty fast-paced combat. Which when you do the live PvP, it definitely slows down a bit. But it is a really cool part of this game, the fact that you actually do have live PvP, unlike most of the other games where it's always just bot versus bot. So that really allows for more strategy and planning and a wider variety, I think, of teams that people are going to be able to build.
Right. I totally agree. And it's one of the reasons why I really love this game. It seems so simple, and I know that it's slow paced, but it just adds so much of the game to be able to have board control. And, it changes some of the characters that are kind of more unique that you need a little more skill to use.
Right. There goes that timer. Waiting. Yeah, so on this team, we've got how many kingdom characters? Shan Yu does, of course, give his speed boost to himself because he's a kingdom character. And then you've got Aladdin, who's also gaining that 8% speed. You've got Jasmine, who's gaining the 8% speed. And then on this particular team, we've just got like a couple of the onward characters thrown in because they're just solid all-around characters. And really with Shan Yu, you don't have to build an entire kingdom team. You can have one or two kingdom members and then throw in a couple of other the top tier characters.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Shan Liu is so good by himself that you don't necessarily have to have him with the others. It just gives I really think that the reason why the other kingdom characters are ranked so high is because of him. They add such speed that they're able to go so much faster. And do you know? I'm pretty sure that the leadership ability lingers on even after he's dead. So even if you have him at a low star, I think that it's worth having him on the team because it just makes the other characters go by so much faster.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would assume so.
Yeah, I think so because you see the over here the 8%, and I don't think that goes away after he dies.
Yeah, the other thing in this game is that your star level is really less important than your gear, right? So you can gear him up to a decent gear level without him being at a high star level.
Right. And I think that's a very, very good point that his leadership ability won't upgrade at all. Actually, I think that it's just 8%. It doesn't go up any higher.
Yep.
And that really is what makes him so powerful. Obviously, if you can gear somebody up who's so powerful, it's worth doing. But, and I think that that's a really good point that we need to talk about is how easy it is to get him.
Yeah.
Not only is he one of the most premium characters in the game, you see, he just died there, and I think, I'm pretty sure that his leadership ability is still intact, even after he dies, which just shows that you just need to give him a 3-star, and it's going to supercharge the rest of your characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
just need to finish off the...
Yeah, let him...
Check out the shop where you can pick up your own Shan Yu tokens.
Exactly. Oh, and this guy kind of he vacated. He bowed out. He's done with me.
Just couldn't handle Shan Yu.
Let's give this over to Aladdin. Supercharge him so he gets a critical on his next hit.
That actually seems like a good combination with Shan Yu right there. You go ahead and give Shan Yu a guaranteed critical strike. And I wonder if you do that and use his AoE attack, his flanking attack, if it will crit every single enemy.
That is a great point. That is awesome. The problem, and I've thought about this, is the problem that Shan Yu goes first. So you would have to use his basic on his first turn and wait for the brother to add it to him, so then he could use the Falcon on his next turn. Yeah.
Right.
But Shenlu usually goes before anybody else.
All right, let's check out the shop in the Sorcerers Tournament.
All right, so
He happened to be there in the premium shop too, as you were
right
going
here.
by, but that's not where we're headed.
Yeah. So right here, the fact that he's farmable, and we'll do more videos, but these top three characters, Hades and the
Mordu.
Madhu, and of course him. These are the most people consider the top three characters in the entire game. And you know, we've played a lot of mobile games like this. The fact that these are practically free is amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yep, and in particular, if you get into the game and you, as soon as you unlock this mode, you start gaining as many ranks as you can every day. You'll quickly get to the point where you can make a purchase of those tokens, you know, almost once a day. Because what right now we're talking about, your rank is what 746,
Right.
and you're getting almost enough to purchase those tokens on a daily basis.
Right.
So it takes a little while to unlock him, but once you do, it's a huge game changer for your team.
Right. Even 5 shards a day on him. And now, what would you consider farming him to 7 stars, or maybe even farming some of the other ones to unlock?
Yeah, that's a tough decision. I think it's personal preference. It depends on if you're going for some of the other game modes where you're trying to get multiple characters with the tags, right? So if you want to get multiple guys up to 4-star or 5-star, then you may take that route. You may go for more do if you just want a tank. If you want to be able to start gearing up an end game type tank right away, rather than investing in other characters. I mean, the nice thing in this game is that a lot of those earlier game characters that you might be working on while you're building up Shan Yu are usable in other ways too, right? Like, you're not only building towards PvP. You can use those to work towards your spells in another game mode. You can use those for various events that come up. And that is another thing about a lot of these Kingdom heroes, like Aladdin and Jasmine. They have hero tags. They have the Kingdom tags, so they can be used in multiple events. The Onward event that just came up is one perfect example, right? Where you can use those heroes to unlock more characters, and they can also both be used in the Aladdin event to unlock one of the best spells in the game. So if you want to take them all the way up to 7-star, you certainly can. It's definitely an option, but I don't think you have to feel like that's a requirement for him to be viable. Like you've mentioned, even at 3 stars, he's really going to do a lot of work.
Right. You know, I don't know if I'm going to take him all the way up to 7 stars. I think I'm going to take probably the 5-star and then maybe start on Hades after that. You know, and unlock Hades. He unlocks at 4 stars. You know, a lot of the events, you don't necessarily have to have them up to 7 stars. Even 4 or 5 stars, you can still do a lot of them. So I don't know. I think that's probably personal preference on how high you unlock them.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, not everybody has to go for this character. If you're just playing for fun, you just want to go for the characters that you want. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
But I will say that giving yourself the ability to better compete in more game modes is likely to help you get some of your favorite characters as well.
Right. Okay, that's awesome. Do you have any other tidbits you might want to say about him?
I don't think so, but if there's one character, even if he's not your favorite, that you should consider going for, I would put this guy at the top of your list.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay. All right. That was great, Bricknar, and I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Bye.